Off the Hook, airing on offthehooksports.com. Your home for real news, real opinions, and what really matters about Tennessee athletics. The Off the Hook podcast at offthehooksports.com or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or wherever you go for your favorite podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeart. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Off the Hook with Dave Hooker starts now.
We are off and running with a huge show. Look at Amanda LaFratta looking fantastic as usual. I'm Dave Hooker, and we are excited to get off and rolling. Please subscribe. And we did some research yesterday. So 80% of our listeners are not actually subscribed to the channel. So we want you to subscribe, and we want you to like, and we want to be a part of your daily routine. Plus, all kinds of great stuff on the YouTube channel and offthehooksports.com. So go ahead and just stop, wait a second, click on subscribe. We're going to get to all the good stuff, and like us as well. We would certainly appreciate it. If you're on the Twitter, then set your notifications on, because we've got stuff coming in. We've already had 4 pieces of content come out today. So a lot going on.
The Twitter,
yes. And the YouTube. So we've got a lot going on at offthehooksports.com. We want you to be a part of it. So welcome into the program. We're also going to find some neat, inventive way to give away some shirts. So we're excited about that. So we've got a lot of things to get to. How would you like to have a T-shirt with my name on the front of it? Well, you wouldn't. But you would like to have a T-shirt with a certain Tennessee quarterback's name on the front.
No,
that's all I'll say.
No,
it's just me. It's right. It's a fishing thing. It's a fishing thing.
You just ruined it.
No, I didn't ruin it. I didn't ruin it. I think you're being a little harsh.
Ruined.
It's not ruined. Okay, so also we may have a report. Big Show on tap may have a report from New York City. We've got a partner there. James Boofer, who's we've partnered with. I don't know if that's going to be today or tomorrow. He's up watching the Yankees, and we're going to do some work on the YouTube and bring you more and more content. Mitchell says they're comfy shirts. Thank you, Mitchell. By the way, how about this? How about we just start with this? The first person that wants to, other than you, Mitchell, because you've already got one, the first person that wants to type into their email into the chat box. Now, you got to be on the YouTube, and I expect you to subscribe just to be nice. We're going to give you a T-shirt. So you just tell me the color, type in your email on the YouTube after you subscribe. They are super comfy. I went with high quality, and they are fantastic. So first person to put their email in there and tell me if they want gray, orange, white. What's the other color? Black. Okay. You tell me what color you want and size and put your email in there, and I'll take care of it. So we're going to give those shirts away, and they'll also be for sale. We're going to tell you more about that here momentarily. So on the show today, we've got Sterling Hinton, who brings the noise, and I mean in a good way. Sterling Hinton has more energy than the average 20-year-old. And he's about 10 years older than me. So Sterling Hinton is going to join us. What does he think of Hinton Hooker? You know, he's been in a position of being the guy, and he lost that starting position. I don't think that's going to happen with Hooker, but is there anything he would have done differently? I want to talk to Sterling Hinton about that. Also, we have recruiting news. We've got it all right here. So first of all, I should have said this. Good morning, Amanda LaFratta. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Never better. Never better. Excited to get rolling here. So let's go ahead and get to the starting lineup. We'll set the stage for you. Also on the program today, we'll have some comments from Tennessee's quarterback coach, and also a guy, Justin Williams-Thomas, who we just named as the #1 incoming player on offthehooksports.com. So we'll have comments from him as well. And talking recruiting, we'll get to that too. So we've got a lot to get it. And Sports Illustrated getting in the recruiting game. They really haven't done a lot of that, but like right before we started, I was like, thank you, content. We saw the tweet that they are ranking and they're getting into the recruiting game. Interesting. I think there's potential there. I won't get into I don't like talking about other media. I won't get into why there's potential there, but there is a niche. Headlines brought to you by the best coffee you're going to find, and that's Honey Bee Coffee. Tell us about it, Amanda LaFratta. Oh,
It's
do you
wonderful.
have the cup, the mug, or is it in there?
No, it's in there. No,
Okay,
this is
fantastic.
not a mug, but it's in there. It's great, like veteran owned. So I like it just because it tastes great, but they use really high quality beans.
But you're not
And
anti-veteran.
no, it's veteran owned, and I
I
like
know.
that. I'm very not anti-veteran. I'm
I
very
know you're not.
pro-veteran.
I'm very
Okay.
pro-veteran as well.
Yes, but I like it. Tastes good. So just remember, go to the bee and not the bucks.
Go to the bee and not the bucks. Wow. I'll
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Okay, so let's get to headlines. Headlines brought to you by Honeybee Coffee today. And let us start with Ben Scully passing away. When you talk about goats, he may be the goat. You know, we have a lot of debates. Bill Russell passed away, whether or not he's the goat. Ben Scully's right up there. And the fact that he did it for like 80 years, and he told this great story about how he was just walking down the road and started watching a baseball game. Before you know it, he'd get out of school at 2:30, and these were day games only because they didn't have lights. So what time did the game start? First pitch was at 3:15, so he had time to leave school and get to see the Dodgers play, or whoever the case may be. It's pretty cool story. And he was fantastic. If you didn't have a chance to hear him much, he was unbelievable. We remember the Kirk Gibson, of course. But some more news closer to home. Tennessee best case scenario by Saturday down south, 9-3 New Year's 6 bowl. Now that is the absolute best case scenario according to Saturday down south. Amanda, that's my prediction. So I guess my best case scenario would be 10 wins, which is winning all the swing games. And there's no way I could get to 11 in my mind. But if they were to win all the swing games, which I think we've talked about quite a bit, to me, I'm at 9. If that's best case scenario, I guess for me would be 10. How about you?
I think best case scenario is 10. I see them. There's 3 games that I see Tennessee possibly losing. However, I feel like they're going to win one of the 3. So that's Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky. And I think Tennessee will pull off at least one of those 3. But
Okay.
I see a 10-2 as being the best case. And I
I
think it's Georgia.
Oh, wow. You think they beat Georgia? You're going out on a limb right then and there? Okay.
Going out on the limb, I think they beat Georgia. I think that Hinton Hooker is going to be too much for that very young defense. I think that Stetson Bennett is not that great of a quarterback. He's a great game manager, but he's not that great of a quarterback. So I feel like if it comes down to it between Stetson Bennett and Hinton Hooker, I'm going to take Hinton Hooker all day, every day, if the defenses are similar.
No, I agree with that. I can roll with that. So we're kind of getting at 9 wins, I think, in 2 different ways. I've got this. I think they beat Pitt, so I don't count that as a swing game. Florida, LSU, Kentucky, and I had one other swing game, South Carolina. So I think they go 3-1, and the rest of the schedule falls into place. I'm not willing to go Georgia with you. And then I think that puts them at 9 wins. But if they upset Georgia, that would put them at 10 wins. Who knows? This Tennessee, we've seen programs have great years because they surprise people. This Tennessee team had better evolve going into year 2, or they're going to be much easier to defend. And then you have some strong feelings about the Deshaun Watson thing, as do I. In the end, it was a 6-game suspension. Jimmy Haslam of the Browns, I guess, had an idea that it would just be a 6-game suspension. But he was suspended by the NFL. Ultimately, there's one accuser still out there that has not settled. Amanda, as a female, I like to get your perspective on the matter. I will say that I think 6 is woefully low. but I have a feeling you might disagree with me.
I do. I think that I don't see and don't understand the let's punish somebody even though there's no proof that they're guilty. I don't care how many accusers come out. I know a lot of liars. So I don't care how many accusers come out and say he did this or he did that. None of them have attached their names to these accusations. So there's no blowback for them whatsoever. You have 18 massage therapists coming out in support of Watson saying that I've never seen him do this. This seems ridiculous. Yada, yada, yada.
So the 18 people yesterday were not involved in the original 26 or 61?
No, these are, and yes, you're going to go on a thing about how, he had 18 more massage therapists. No, they weren't involved in the 24 that came out. They were,
okay.
They might have been a part of the 60, whatever, but 18 came out in support of him saying that he's never been anything but like a gentleman. He's never done anything that would suggest. Even one of them came out and said the towel idea is a very common practice in massages, that when sometimes you have to work certain areas in a athlete, you're going to have to work the groin and all that stuff. No, it is. If you ask a massage therapist, that's an actual thing that they do. However, but he was.
I've had the towel thing. I've had the towel thing.
That's awkward, but he was labeled as sexual misconduct and not sexual assault, and people keep getting those confused. So for people that come out and say it was sexual assault, it wasn't. It was sexual misconduct, which is different. And assault, even the judge came out and said there was no way to put it as assault. There was no violence there. So
just to me, at the end of the day, the numbers are hard to overcome, but that we can see that differently. I think the thing that needs to be pointed out is that Jimmy Haslam, who has strong ties to Tennessee, ultimately wielded a lot more power than I thought he had. Because with the contract that he gave Deshaun Watson, I thought to myself, the owners are going to hate him. It's guaranteed. He has the money in hand that you have to, whenever you sign a contract, you have to put this money in escrow. Not to be long-winded here, but so you have to put the money in escrow in case you were to lose your team for whatever reason or die. So he has that ability because of Pilot and Flying J to put that money in escrow. There are 20 other NFL teams that can't just put that totally guaranteed contract in escrow. So I thought that there would be a blowback from owners. We really haven't seen that. And apparently he's got a little bit more power than we thought, Amanda, because he walks away with 6 games. They might appeal, they might not, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't appeal at all.
To me, it's ridiculous because people are going out to virtue signal and say, okay, well, just go with the crowd on this without looking at any factual evidence because there isn't any. So that to me is an issue and what's actually kind of wrong with our society, because everyone virtue signals without even knowing half of the stuff that's out there. And that drives me insane.
I'm not familiar with the term virtue signal, but I'm going to try to learn that. Okay, so this, as far as headlines, will affect a former Alabama player for sure. Are you already on the soda? Oh my gosh! All right, so this to me is pretty. What we're going to get to next is so orchestrated, veiled, and ridiculous. I just can't even put it into words. The NFL notified the Miami Dolphins on Tuesday that the team would be stripped of its 2023 first-round pick, among other disciplinary measures for violations of league policies relating to the integrity of the game. A 6-month investigation looked into contact with Tom Brady and looked into the allegations that the owner had told the coaches that he would pay them to lose games, which he may have said in jest. He may not have said at all. He may have said seriously. We don't know.
They have no proof of it. So
right. But at the end of the day, they think he did it because there's no way they're taking away a first-round pick for a brief conversation with Tom Brady. So they package it. I'm telling you, this is the way they
I know, I'm
package it.
sure.
They package it as, yeah, it's the Tom Brady conversation. But I think this owner did say at one point, in all seriousness, I'm just guessing, I don't know, it wouldn't be bad, for your pace check or your Christmas bonus if you lost a couple of games. But the question I have, taking it a step forward, what's Tua Tagovailoa thinking? I mean, here he is, a talented quarterback, great ball placement. I was listening to Tennessee's coach yesterday talk about helping Joe Milton have better accuracy. I'm sorry. Throwing with touch and accuracy, well, he needs it, but he's probably not going to have it. It's innate. I mean, to a certain extent, you can get better. But here's Tua, who throws one of the most catchable balls in the world. He's so great at leading receivers. And the only thing I don't like about him is he's left-handed. I think that does switch up your offense, makes it a little bit tougher for the backup. But you now have Tyreek Hill there. Give the guy a shot. I mean, he is the owner has fished for everybody. He's tried to get everybody, including Tom Brady, including losing to draft somebody else. At least give Tua his shot. I think what this owner's afraid of is that they're going to win about 6 or 7 games, and he's not going to be in on an elite quarterback. This is Tua's year. I think he deserves it, and I feel bad for the young man who everything I've read is a stand-up dude. I mean, give him a shot. You put a team around him. We're not going to be having this. We won't be having this conversation in a year, right, Amanda? We'll know at the end of the year if Tua is an NFL playoff caliber quarterback or not.
He's okay. So watching Tua his entire career, Tua is a very, very, very talented quarterback. He's extremely talented. He can throw the ball. He can place the ball wherever it needs to be placed on the field. I don't know if anybody can really argue that point. My only issue with Tua and why I wouldn't personally have drafted him is that he is as fragile as a feather. And that is my issue with Tua. He stayed pretty much hurt when he played at Alabama. He was hurt a lot of times. He had to have 2 different surgeries on either ankle to open up blood flow. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff going on. Then he broke his hip. I mean, he didn't really break his hip, but he did something down there. And so on a play that didn't look bad.
It was the Bo Jackson injury.
It didn't look bad at all.
Hip shoots out of the back of your socket, which is bad. That's frowned upon.
Not great. It's not great. No. He's just very like I feel not delicate, but he's very prone to injury, and that I think will be his downfall.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I'm just not like I think he is talented. I think he could do big things in the NFL. I do not like Tyreek Hill, and if people are going to go on about Deshaun Watson, let's look at Tyreek Hill. So continuing on with that, he's going to be great. He's going to be great, but is he going to be healthy? That is the issue.
Health, and I don't like his overall arm strength. I mean, everybody can throw. Everybody can make all the throws. Okay, but
he can throw bombs.
He's not Josh Allen. He's not anywhere close. He is middle of the pack in arm strength. So it's not anything. Listen, if you don't have NFL arm strength as a whole, you're not playing at that level. So it's not like I'm saying he's ill-equipped. I thought the Tyreek Hill thing was a bad fit because I think it was desperate. I think they wanted to go after him. And I don't think Tua has a strong arm like Patrick Mahomes. I just don't see that out of him. Again, I like him. I would trade there. I'll put it this way. I would trade him for Dak Prescott, and I'm a Cowboys fan, tomorrow if he were right-handed, but he's not. So Gonzaga and Kentucky will play a home and home. That's not prejudice. You have to rework your entire offense. Your right tackle has to be the protection guy, and then so the backup comes in and he's right-handed, and suddenly the offensive line's flip-flopped.
All you gotta do is switch it. Just switch it. You'll be fine.
That was Derek Dooley's great move. That doesn't work. It's
okay.
Total. I just there's a reason only one quarterback on an NFL roster is left-handed, not just starters, but backups. But anyway, so Gonzaga and Kentucky will play in a home and home. Why is this significant? Because there is zero reason that you can't be good at basketball if you're in a Power 5 conference. You just spend the money. I mean, the return, the ratio of profit and expenses is not like football at all. Football, you spend a ton of money. You hope to be good and make a lot of money. Basketball, you can roll out there, hire a decent coach, spend the money on recruiting, spend the money on facilities, and you can win 20 games and have a grand old time and make money. So there's no and the reason I say all that, Gonzaga. If anybody calls them a mid-major again, I'm going to be sick. Gonzaga spends as much money on basketball as anybody.
So you're saying you don't have to be in a Power 5 conference? Because I thought you just said that you have to be in a Power 5 conference.
No, you don't have to be in a Power 5 conference. The reason I said that is because the money's going to be there from the television contracts. So, like, if you're – well, Kansas is a bad example because they're good at basketball. But if you're, Texas A&M, pick any school in a Power 5, and you've got that TV check coming in that's mostly based off football, and you realize, okay, South Carolina is a good example. I think they have a glass ceiling of how good they can be. I don't think they're going to be a Tennessee, Georgia, any of those in the East. I don't think they're
let's not throw Tennessee in there at the moment.
I'm talking about from resources and facilities. I'm not a big picture, not what's happened the past 10 years. So
15.
There's no reason that South Carolina can't say we're all in on basketball. And teams have done that. I mean, they've had success. But, baseball, you're never going to really make money based off all the financials that I looked at back in the day when I had to cover that stuff. And in women's basketball, you're never going to make money. So, but those are your four primary, most publicized sports. So, in football, you may not be able to be good because it costs too much. But there's no excuse not to be good in basketball. Gonzaga has proven that. If you invest the money and the time, you will be good at basketball.
But they don't have a football team, so they have more time and more money to allocate to basketball.
Yeah, well, they would start a football team if they got Tennessee's check from the SEC and ESPN.
I mean, I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
you can't compare Gonzaga and like South Carolina because the South Carolina has to use a lot of its resources to put it into their football team. Gonzaga doesn't have one, so they can just take every penny that comes in and just allocate it right to the basketball because they don't care about anything else.
That's true, but last I checked, and it's been a couple of years, the expenses for basketball at Tennessee were about $10 million, and football was about $90 million. So I believe there is an opportunity there as a revenue generator, talking business-wise for a lot of teams in the Power 5. All right, coming up, Sterling Hinton is going to join us, former Tennessee quarterback. And I want to remind you to go to the Mattress Place, 22 years on Chapman Highway, Marine Corps veteran-owned, A-plus accredited member of the Better Business Bureau, over 225 five-star reviews on Google. No gimmicks, just 30 to 70% off every day. Mitchell saying about, I think this is going way back to the conversation with Deshaun Watson. Sorry, I'm just saying this. That's the world we live in.
He's talking about South Carolina. They just got the number one recruit in the country.
Okay, hold on. I'm reading the previous comment. That's the world we live in. If it were that serious, they wouldn't have all settled. I think Amanda would disagree. Oh, really? Well, no.
Yeah.
You said, okay, if it's that serious, they wouldn't have settled. Fair. I think there are times in business that you make legal decisions based off finances. I mean,
no, he's talking about the women.
Yeah, I know,
but women wouldn't have settled.
Yeah, but do they want to keep fighting it, or do they just want to take a paycheck and say, "You wronged me. This is fair. Let's move on"? Anyway, we don't know. Mitchell says, to be fair, we did just get us GG as well. What's it, GG?
I don't. It's a basketball something.
It's basketball something. All right.
Yeah, it's the number one. I know he's talking about the number one recruit in the nation. He was committed to North Carolina, and he decommitted from North Carolina and committed to South Carolina. He was the number one overall, like supposed to be the next LeBron kind of thing.
That's my point. You spent the money, you recruited the heck out of him. There's no reason that you can't be as good as a North Carolina or a Duke without Krzyzewski. Sorry, you got the money. I mean, look at Tennessee. I mean, they're a Final Four contender
His
with
name
Rick
is
Barnes.
Gigi Jackson.
Gigi Jackson. That's a good point, Mitchell. All right. Sterling Hinton, after this, former Tennessee quarterback, and exciting. If you don't listen to him, then you haven't lived your best day. I'm just telling you that. With Amanda LaFratta, I'm Dave Hooker. Stay tuned.
Gary Viles here. I want to personally invite you to North Knoxville's newest sports bar and restaurant. It's Big Orange Phillies, located in Black Oak Center. And yes, folks, it's happening in Halls. Big Orange Phillies offers family-friendly environment with homemade meals and the best deli-style subs around. Billiards, darts, jukebox, shuffleboard, and cornhole, and a full bar. We also offer valet parking on weekends and during special events. We even have a covered back patio. It's happening at Big Orange Phillies. We want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
This is Al's Dish Barbecue Supply, so come on in and see all the different rubs and sauces we have, plus a complete line of Green Mountain grills. Don't be overwhelmed. We have plenty of help so you can produce the best barbecue and amaze your family and friends. Barbecue is America's food. We'll do what we can to bring you all the best products. We're Al's Nest Barbecue, but Chattanooga goes to grill.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassy Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassy, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassy's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassy Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
Well, a lot going on today. Sterling Hinton will join us very shortly, and looking forward to that. I forgot to get to today's tough question. My apologies, Amanda, but that'll give us an opportunity to get Sterling's thoughts as well. So today's tough question is what?
So I'm torn between a couple of today's tough questions. But I want to focus on either we'll focus on Deshaun Watson or we'll focus on Vin Scully.
Okay.
So Deshaun Watson, if we do that one, I want to say how many games or what do you think the punishment for Deshaun Watson should be? And you could say 0, agree with the NFL at 6, or a year or more. Would be a year, and then comment would be like lifetime ban, just to see what people really think out there. If you do the Vin Scully thing, I think that should be for tomorrow. So like the best.
Well, he's not going anywhere.
That was horrible, and
Sorry.
It should be the best like Vin Scully call of all time. Yeah, that was awful.
Sorry. Okay, well, it's your call. It is also National Georgia Day and National Watermelon Day, if you want to base it off that. Watermelon is incredible.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna go with this Deshaun Watson thing because
Okay.
I don't care about watermelon.
How about to tie? I'm completely joking when I say this. To tie National Georgia Day, we say Deshaun Watson's punishment should have been 4 games 8 games a season or has to live in Georgia for the rest of his life.
That's rude.
You not said Atlanta traffic. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Today's tough
Atlanta
question.
traffic, but Georgia is not that bad. Just Atlanta.
Today's tough question brought to you by Viles. What else is in Georgia?
Other things are in Georgia. Just Atlanta is just terrible. That's like saying what else is in Tennessee besides Nashville? Lots of things in Tennessee.
What's the big? Is it Valdosta? What is just south of Atlanta? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, there's a little city south of Atlanta. Next, it was kind of weird. My wife and kids were getting eggs in line with a guy named Harrison Ford, who they didn't recognize. So my son missed out on meeting Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and there's somebody else I'm missing all in one. But all right, so today's tough question is what? The final one is.
So what do you think Deshaun Jackson's punishment should be? Deshaun Watson, not Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything except fumble somewhere somehow.
There's
Viles
a whole thing about him back in the day, but that's fine.
Give us a vote. Viles Automotive Group, car shopping made easy right there on Callahan. They keep you going with great car service and repair work. They've got financing. How about that? Car shopping made easy. They've got all the selection. And this guy joining us right now is absolute. There's no way. Oh, he put Sterl. He didn't put Sterling Hinton in his name thing. He just put Sterl. I love it. So Sterling Hinton is joining us now as we're mixing. And look at that. He's got the whole thing rocking. Sterl, how are you, sir? I cannot hear you at all. I can't hear you at all. You're muted for some reason. I don't know why you're muted. Still can't hear you. We're going to figure that out. I believe in you, Sterling. You know what we won't ask Sterling about is we won't ask him about the Deshaun Watson thing, nor the Deshaun Jackson fumbling thing. So you having any better luck with your audio there, Sterl? Yeah, we're seeing. Okay, let me try to bring you out and bring you back in, see if anything will work there. Okay, let's try again. All right, Sterling, have you got there? I'll tell you what, do me a favor, if you don't mind.
Click the microphone.
Oh, yeah, you should have a microphone in the bottom left-hand corner. It should be right there, and you should be able to click on that to see, like, let me see if I can unmute you on mine. No, I can't. There's. So we've got to figure this out. I can't hear you. I'll tell you what. Let's make it easy. Why don't you? You look fantastic. Once you do it through your phone, you can click on the link through your phone. I don't know what's going on with that, but it looks so good. He's got his big orange headphones on. He's got the shirt on. I was going to give him a present. If you can get that audio to work, Sterl, I'm going to give you a great present. I can't. He's still talking. I can't hear him.
Well, why don't you just text him?
I'm going to text. I think he can hear me. All right. So yes.
He can hear
Sterl's saying he can hear me. So let's see if we can make this work out. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take just a quick second to introduce you to a guy that you'll certainly want to hear from, and then we're going to get whatever the issue is with Sterl working. So I did want to talk Tennessee quarterback, so I'll give us just a second because Sterl's saying he has his mic on. We're going to figure that out. But did want to get to a conversation that Tennessee's quarterback coach Joey Hazel had with the media. Here are his comments on Hinton, Hooker, and Joe Milton. They get along. That's interesting.
It's been great. Joe and Hinton have a real relationship, not just on the field but off it. They've become really, really close friends. so that they compete with each other every day. It's like growing up, you always want to beat your best friend, but it's always in a positive light. And that positivity, that positive energy has really just translated into our QB room, and Taven's walked right into that, and it's been a good environment for him.
Jimmy? What improvement have you seen from Joe Milton from last year to now?
We've worked all offseason on touch throws across the middle and pressing our vertical run game. He's done a great job doing that. He's touching up balls all over the field. We all know he's got the absolute howitzer of an arm, so we've worked in having him touch up the ball and work windows and working that aspect of his game because we know he's got the other shot in his bag already.
Vince, Austin, Wes, Rob.
Joe, you and Hinton Hooker in the spring had talked about Hendon maybe taking progressions and playing games with the defense with his eyes and things like that. I know he obviously hasn't had the ultimate test in a game since then, but what kind of progress have you seen in those areas of him advancing and manipulating the defense?
Yeah, it's been really fun, actually. He did it in spring at a high level, and he actually did one really good one today. I'm not going to talk about it, but it was actually pretty impressive where he turned around and smiled at me and then kept going. So it's been really fun to watch his improvement and to watch him enjoy doing it where it's not like work every time. He's like, yeah, I got this. It's been really fun to watch his improvement there.
When you talk about working on touch throws, how do you go about doing that? How do you get somebody that clearly just can throw it a mile to understand how to throw it 7 feet with certain type of angle, arm angle, that stuff? And then two, in today's world of transfer portal and quarterbacks bounce around as much as anybody, to have a guy that's got experience like Joe as a backup, is that invaluable?
Yeah, so to start off with your second question, absolutely it is. It's probably something that's going to be rapidly disappearing to have a backup quarterback with experience. I think that speaks to the relationship that him and Hendon have and also the way he feels about this place, that he wasn't in a hurry to just jump up and leave as soon as Hendon had the type of year that he did. So that's been awesome that he's been like that and that we have that type of guy in our room right now.
There we go. That is Tennessee's quarterback coach, Joey Housel. And I think that we have the man, Sterling Hinton. He's still muted. Sterling, we still don't have you. I tell you what, just use your phone and your email and click on the link and prop your phone up. And then we're gonna get you on that. Okay. Because I want to talk to Sterling about the competition within a quarterback room. Because only one guy can play quarterback. It's got to be different than every other position, right? Amanda, I mean, doesn't it have to be? Because the defensive backs, 8 are going to play. Offensive line, 7 or 8 are going to play. But there's only one starter at quarterback. And you really can't bounce back and forth or you get in that whole Clausen-Ainge mess that they got into back in 2005.
Well, it takes a really strong mind to be able to be one of those quarterbacks that bounces back and forth. So if your quarterback lacks that confidence, then it's not going to go well. That's not going to go well. You can't do that. Not to
tell you, guy doesn't lack confidence is Sterling Hinton. So, Sterling, if you can shake your head if you can hear me. Cool. Sweet. All right. There. I think we have Sterling the Pearl now. We don't have audio, Sterling, but we'll just take it. Okay, we'll take it. Can we? You can hear us. Can you hear? Can we hear you? We can't hear Sterling. Unbelievable. Amanda, any thoughts as to what I might be doing wrong here?
So maybe on the back end where Sterling is, if you go to settings, it'll say video and it'll say audio. Like right underneath the this whole thing. You go to settings, see if it says video input is default, audio input set to default. Or you can set them to your AirPods. Try that.
I'll tell you what, Sterling, if you can get on board, that's awesome. Wave at me if you think you've got it figured out or you think that there's a way, and I will go ahead and pull you up. You think you're good? Okay. No, he's going to tell me when he's good. Okay. All right. So a lot to get to. We do want to talk to Sterling Hinton, but also there are several things on the program today. And the other is the guy that we have named the #1 incoming player. Now, this was not easy. And Josh Ward did a lot of these. You contributed, I contributed, and it wasn't easy to pick the number one incoming player for this 2022 season, especially when you have junior college guys all across the place. But who did we decide to go with? We ultimately went with a running back who is very, very good. Justin Williams-Thomas is our number one incomer for the 2022 class. And his comments now are brought to you by Pedigo of Chattanooga. Pedigo, locally owned store where you'll be treated like family. The region's foremost electric bike experts. They put their hearts into helping you find the perfect electric bike and the most out of it for many years to come. Should I try Sterl again? You make the call here, man. I think he's on his phone now. Sterl, what about now? Can we hear you now? No. That is so bizarre. Here is Justin Williams, Thomas Sterl. My apologies. We'll figure it out some shape, form, or fashion. He's actually going to the Hall of Fame this weekend. Really? All the events. He's DJing it. It's pretty cool. So I ask him like in a really hinty way. Are these for fans or are these for just the players? Because I was gonna try to see if he could get me a credential to one of the players. Sterl just cut me off, basically. So yeah. I don't know, man. I just do what I'm told. In other words, yeah. But the guy that got him the gig, which is super cool, is Richard Seymour, the old defensive tackle out of Georgia. Well, I say old. He's not that old. But wow, here is...
You're definitely not getting credentials now.
Justin Williams-Thomas. He is the top incomer for the 2022 class. He met with the media. He met with the media yesterday. I was pretty blown away by the maturity, and I think Tennessee's coaches have been as well. Tell me what you think. Feel free to shoot some. Tennessee's running back, more of a power back, but don't shortchange him on the speed.
We've gotten a few more reps. Coach Mack's been good with us, just making sure we're not working ourselves, just, splitting out reps. I don't feel like I've been overworked by any means, but, it's been good. We've been able to get more reps, get ready for the season. And I feel like, just taking advantage of those reps is going to help us in the long term.
Coming from spring now, just 2 days into fall camp, but have you noticed anything that's getting a little easier for you? Is it slowing down? Are you picking up the playbook a little bit better? Are you seeing improvements in your game?
Yeah, the tempo of the game definitely has slowed down for me a lot. Just, being able to come through spring, I feel like that was a big help for me. Just being able to, see it and then do it and then get the chance to do it again, just slow down, just constantly doing it and just doing it over, it just really helped me. So I felt like the game has slowed down for me a lot.
Yeah, a lot of freshmen have to come in and change their body significantly in the weight room. I don't know if that's necessarily the case for you. Do you have a goal of weight or anything, or how have you changed your body?
My goal weight right now is 215. I feel like that's a good playing weight for me. Coming in, I had to add a few pounds, add some clean weight, and I didn't really have a hard time doing it. But I feel like 215 is going to be a really good weight for me to play around. I feel like that's the most comfortable weight for me to play around at this time.
Justin, what was the biggest thing for you coming out of the spring that you wanted to work on? What did you kind of focus on the most during the summer?
Just mastering my playbook, knowing my footwork, just being able to be sharp on my pass pro. I feel like that was the biggest things I needed to work on, just being able to know everything like the back of my hand.
Two things. One, you mentioned pass pro. How difficult is that to pick up pass protection?
Just in college, you have more assignments, just being able to know who you're IDing. I feel like in high school, you lock on one person. Just knowing your progression, I feel like that's the biggest thing in my pass pro, just knowing my reads and know where I need to start my eyes in every pass progression.
And do you think an up-tempo offense suits your game?
Yes, sir. I feel like it does.
How?
I just feel like, the box, first off, we play with wide splits, and, you got playing light boxes, and then the tempo's so fast, you can catch the defense off guard. So I can hit through a vertical seam and take it to the house, hopefully.
What's your off-season look like in terms of a plan for workouts, who you worked out with, that kind of thing?
I worked out with Patrick Wilk. My off-season plan was just, studying my playbook, coming in, going over pass pro, drawing it up, just coming in, catching extra balls every day, just trying to do extra as much as I can just to better myself, just to help the team as much as I could.
There we go. That is Justin Williams Thomas, and man, I like the very businesslike approach.
Very
That's
intelligent.
Yeah, that's overused, business-like approach. But he feels like he's on campus with a mission, and that's to win the starting job, which we would think would be Jabari Small. But Jabari Small isn't huge. So
that guy's huge.
Yeah, he's big. Justin Williams Thomas is kind of on another
You need to
level
make
physically.
bigger shirts, like arms.
They keep telling me at the gym at the gym, Amanda, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I like to rock the schmedium.
No, I'm talking more about.
I'm gonna try Searle one more time. Searle's even on a microphone. I'm not sure what's happening.
I bet it's Safari. I bet if he's a MacBook, he's probably using Safari, which was my problem. I used Safari. Remember, we had to change it to Chrome because it was that.
Yes.
Bad. But
Searle, shake your head if you're using Safari. This is very interesting broadcast. Are you using Safari? Are you using?
We're gonna have to go longer today because we've spent 15 minutes trying to.
We've got to get Sterl in. And Sterl, we brought to you in part by Owl's Nest Barbecue, who brings you technical difficulties today. No, they bring you everything you need when it comes to barbecue. And
we're gonna have to send that to Sterling.
Yes. Sterling's he's not only getting our t-shirt, he's also getting like a barbecue gift pack because of the technical issues that we've had on his behalf, and I feel terrible. So again, but Owl's Nest Barbecue is the place you need to go for your sauces, your rubs, your pellets, wood chips. And right next door, they've got Steve Ray's Midnight Oil. They do all the work on my car. They should do the work on yours. Back in 2 minutes let's go ahead and just try it. Sterl, what about now? Oh, man, he looks so good, but we can't hear him. Back in 2 minutes with my fingers crossed for Sterl. If nothing else, it has created this sense of anticipation that even has me on the edge of my seat. This is like Christmas morning in August. Back in 2 minutes, maybe not.
It's Gary Viles here, Viles Automotive on Callahan Drive. I've been selling cars here in East Tennessee for 27 years. In that time, I've come to realize it's not about the car. It's about you, the customer. So I'm here to take care of you just like family. Good credit, bad credit, you name it, we can get you taken care of. If we don't have it, we can find it for you. We go across the country to get any vehicle that you want. And here at Viles Automotive, we don't believe in fake numbers. We just give you great deals. And as always, we want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassy Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassy, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassy's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassy Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
This is Steve Rain. I own the Midnight Oil and Michelin Tire Direct service station here in Ooltewah. It's not a fancy place, never has been, but it's a clean place with clean restrooms and good folks who work here. We sell gas and fix cars, nothing glamorous, but we love what we do, and we're going to keep doing it for a long time to come. There's not many real service stations left, and that's a shame. We're the guys just like the guys back in your hometown. We'll fix your tire, change your oil, and put a new set of Michelins on your car. If you want a Twinkie, you'll just have to keep on going. Thanks for the business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
We're hoping we have Sterling Hinton more than you will ever know. Okay, so we're going to give this a shot. I believe in Sterling Hinton. Sterl, how are you there? Oh, I don't have you. Don't worry about the microphone. Are you just talking through the computer? I mean, the phone? Just talk through the phone. No, but I think you're... let's bring another Sterl in here. Try now, Sterl. We get nothing. Sterl, we're going to do this another time, and we're going to make it work. And I've got a T-shirt coming to you.
Sterl, I'm sorry.
We're going to make that happen. Sterl, I apologize. Okay, so today's tough question. Do you want to reset that and see where we stand? If you want to participate, be sure and do so. Justin did say about the Justin Williams-Thomas interview, he explained himself very well. No cliche answers. I totally agree, Justin. I'm down. I was, to be honest with you, I don't think that Tennessee picked the best picture of him because Amanda's really particular about pictures, and because she realizes the presentation. Well, whatever picture they took didn't make you think business-like. It made you think just another dude. But when I heard him talk, I was like, whoa. This guy's got it going on. So you can certainly go back and listen to that if you would like. This stream will be posted on offthehooksports.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe right now, and we would greatly appreciate that. Poor Sterl still trying. Sterl, you're good, buddy. We'll punt. It's all right. I appreciate it.
If I were a Tennessee fan, I'd be very excited about him. I would be very excited about him.
Justin Williams-Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah, I would be.
I mean, Sterling's a little past that. I don't think he's going to help Tennessee much, but I'm talking about Justin Williams.
Sterling, though, takes such good care of himself. He could probably run out there and play a series.
That's true. He looks like he could.
I bet he could. I'm going to try one more time. Sterling, can we hear you? Talk into your phone.
Oh.
Goodness gracious. I don't know what's... Okay, we're going to move on. Dang technical difficulties. Mitchell, you're absolutely right.
Can we have him tomorrow?
Yes. I think he's on a flight to the NFL Hall of Fame, but we're going to try to work that out. Some shape, form, or fashion. Sterling, enjoy your day. It's our bad. My apologies. It is not your fault. He's doing them bad. We're doing sign language. All right, so Zool Beer Company. Talk about a great panoramic view of downtown and a great place to hang out. Amanda, that's Zool Beer Company.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place to hang out. If you haven't gone, I highly suggest that you go. Great beer, just a great atmosphere, all wrapped in one. Friday Bridge Burgers for lunch. It's great. So if you haven't had a chance, Ryan's Like Dimes comes out this week too, which is the gold medal winner. So get on there and give it a shot.
Yep. You will certainly enjoy it, and it is time for On or Off the Hook, where we
Today's tough question.
Oh yeah, you want to reset that? Where are we with
that? We're revisiting that.
Mm-hmm.
Dave gets yeah.
I'm ready. Today's tough question.
So it's what do you think Deshaun Watson's punishment should be? And 47.8% think it should be a year. However,
wow.
Lifetime ban comes in second with 21.7%, and then 0 games comes in third, 17.4%.
So no middle ground of 8 games. You just went full bore. Those are the 3 options.
No, 6 games was the last option, but it came in last. So people basically, no one.
People would rather him not be suspended at all.
Yeah, there's no proof, so I don't blame them.
Well, right, but it just tells you how split the audience is, because they'd rather see him basically do like Tom Hanks in Castaway, or be able to play tomorrow
with no Wilson.
Yes, with no Wilson.
There's Wilson.
There's no in between. Wow, that tells you a lot right there. I would be one for a 1-year ban. I think anything over that would be harsh. I'd be okay with a 10 or 12. I guess I was just struck with the 6s. 6 is good. as they say on Seinfeld, which he thought he was saying something else. You like the 6? On or off the hook is now. Who is on or off the hook in practice this week as the Balls will wear shoulder pads? How about shoulder pads for the first time in preseason camp? Who's on or off the hook now?
On or off the hook? Who's to blame?
Unleash the fury!
It has to be someone's fault. On or off the hook? Exclusively on Off the Hook Sports with Dave Hooker.
I always let the ladies go first, but I'm not going to this time.
No.
On or off the... Well, because you always take the good ones. That's a compliment. On or off the hook brought to you by Big Orange Phillies. Big Orange Phillies is a great place to go right there in downtown Halls. You can find it at Maynardville Pike. It's very easy to find, and it is a great place to go when it comes to fantastic food, when it comes to a family environment. They've got things to do like karaoke, billiards, and they've got darts. They've got the whole 9 yards. You'll love it at Big Orange Phillies, and they've always got something going on, so check them out. Amanda, on or off the hook? Say Justin Williams-Thomas. Man, I think that he is on the hook this week at practice to up his game. I'll be interested to see who you pick, and people can certainly share with us what they think about who's on or off the hook. But I think it's Justin Williams-Thomas. I think that Tennessee has to have another running back, and then you had the injury right before the season that certainly didn't help things with Lynette Whitehead, and yeah, he is. I'm not saying Whitehead's anything special, Amanda, but he was depth. He didn't know.
Wow, kick him while he's down. Why don't you?
Sorry, that's my bad. But I will say this: he I would think after a year he would know the pass protection schemes, and you're not going to run a guy out there that doesn't know that. So both these guys are going to be limited in the first month in what plays they can be out there in. When I say Justin Williams-Thomas, and I talk about some of the other running backs that are out there, I mean they're going to be limited. Dylan Sampson, of course, is who I was referring to, but they're going to be somewhat limited. So I think one of those guys has to step up and be ready to play from a pass protection standpoint as much as anything. So I think Justin Williams-Thomas is on the hook. I think he's big. He's physical. I think he would be able to be a good additional pass protector for Hinton Hooker in his passing game. He's on the hook for me. What player's on the hook as they put shoulder pads on today for you?
Joe Milton, hands down. He's the one that's on the hook for me. You have to get better. You have to get more accurate. You have to let this team know that you are going to be able to lead them to victory if something happens with Hinton Hooker. Maybe he just has a stomach bug for a week. Whatever the case may be, you have to be able to get out there and not freeze up or make a less than intelligent decision on the football field. Your team has to know that you are competent enough to lead them if something should happen to Hinton. And if not, then you need to step aside.
I'm hesitant to say this, but because I look at Chris Webber, who called the timeout, but he ended up having a great career. And he's one of
the big five.
in the championship game, he called the timeout. He walked beforehand. He froze under pressure, okay, which is what Joe Milton did when he jumped out of bounds. And I'm trying my best not to throw him under the bus, Amanda. I like to treat these kids fairly. But I've talked to people in football circles that said
They're not kids anymore.
That's fair.
They're
That's
getting
fair.
paid now, so now
that's fair.
they come under the same scrutiny.
Absolutely. I have to alter my thinking. You're right. So I've heard from too many people in football circles that say that's one of those plays that's not just a bad play. It's like a red flag that he might not have field awareness, big picture. So you're right. But I don't know how you prove that in practice. I mean, you're absolutely right, but that's not when the pressure's on. I don't know how you
2-minute drills. You run the 2-minute drill. That's how you prove it in practice. And if it's not sinking in, you keep running it until it sinks in.
I just think it's different when the lights are on.
I mean, it might be, but there's no way to practice makes perfect, and that's a saying for a reason. There's no way to change it.
The scary part, if you're a coach too, there are practice players and there are game players, and he evidently was a good practice player because he was named the starter at the beginning of the year. So he may be great in practice, and then if something happens to Hooker, he may not be great in a game. And I think that's what.
Gotta figure that out. As a coach, you have to figure that out. You have to know the difference between a practice and a game player.
Well, there are a lot of people in coaching circles that think they are. And I don't want to throw them under the bus. I'll let you know that. So Craft Treats is where you need to go. Craft Treats. Go to crafttreats.com. Craft Treats is a great place to go for your pet that might have situational anxiety or
oh my gosh,
bone anxiety, whatever that might be.
I have anxiety right now.
Yeah. Whether it be car ride anxiety, whatever it might be, that's Craft Treats, and you certainly need to check them out. Your pet will appreciate it greatly. So it's time for Talking Cruton. We go Talking Cruton. What's the latest on the balls in the SEC in Cruton?
Talking Cruton.
Am I right or am I right or am I right?
Who's on Tennessee's board? The names you need to know exclusively on Off the Hook Sports with Dave Hooker.
All right, Amanda, what do you got for me? Talking Cruton. We got a couple of different notes that we're going to throw out there. Let's start with, how about Sports Illustrated? They've decided to get into the recruiting game, and their initial ranking is out for the 2023 class, and Alabama is number one. No great surprise. No great surprise. Anything else stand out to you about that list?
So I believe though that the Alabama thing is kind of a surprise, just because people have been constantly, Nick Saban's lost it. Nick Saban, he's not be able to compete with all these other coaches like the Shane Beamers and the Brian Kellys who are doing rap videos and all this stuff. You're not going to see Nick Saban in a rap video. Like, you're not going to see him do that, which is not who he is. The closest thing he's ever gotten to that is doing like the cha-cha slide or something, but that was at a wedding. So he might have had a drink or two. But I know a lot of people at the beginning of this whole thing was like, oh, Alabama's dropping. It's crazy. It's whatever. And I even have seen, big time media saying that the recruiting, the way that it's going is the way it's going to be. Kids aren't going to flip. Like, it's never going to happen, yada, yada, yada. Well, Nick Saban's already flipped one guy from Notre Dame, and he's probably going to flip another one. So it's different, the NIL game.
No, I agree. And I'm going to show you another way it's different. So this news just coming down the pike. Tennessee picks up a running back in Lynn J. Dixon. According to Ryan Callahan at GoVols 24/7, he announced this morning. He announced in November he was transferring to West Virginia. And after he was 4 years at Clemson, so he transferred to West Virginia. And he went through spring practice. Didn't like it so much. It's because it's Morgantown. And he is going to come to Tennessee. He was committed to the Vols for nearly 4 months in 2017 under Butch Jones. So the $10 haircut strikes again. There you go.
I don't know. You can blame it on Butch Jones, but this kid seems to bounce wherever either NIL money's being thrown or he just doesn't know.
No, that was just
I don't trust him as far as throwing.
No, that was a throwaway line to get to basically talk about the $10 haircut. No, but we'll see what he's able to do. 5'10", 195 pounds. Visited Tennessee last weekend. Is expected to begin practicing with the Vols as early as Thursday. Do you realize how insane that is, Amanda? This is free agency. This is exactly free agency.
This is insane because my issue with them going back and forth like this and being able, and the NCAA even talking about taking out you can only transfer once without any kind of consequence or having a waiver or whatever. And then after that, you need a waiver to transfer. And they're thinking about taking that completely off the table. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's not beyond now the realm of possibility. Hey, kid from, LSU, we want to know what Nick Saban's doing over there. We want playbook. We want, ideas that he's having. We're going to pay you a lot of money to transfer to Alabama so you can get that intel, and then you can transfer back and give us that intel. I'm not saying that's happening, but it's not, now it is not beyond the realm of possibility. Now stuff like that is not. It's a free-for-all. It's insane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's insane is sitting in your home this time of year without the proper HVAC unit. And who can take care of that? City Heating and Air Conditioning. That's cityheatandair.com. City Heating and Air Conditioning, in business for over 50 years because it's integrity. That's what it is all about, and honesty. They are simply awesome at City Heating and Air. So tomorrow on the program, we'll have comments from Tennessee's players as they come off the practice field. We will also visit with Bill Bender, who covers college football for Sports Illustrated. So we've got a lot going on, and I want you to have a fantastic day. This has been a present. Am I forgetting something, Amanda?
Yes.
What am I forgetting?
Well, first of all, what shocks me about the SI.com issue is that Tennessee's not even in the top 25. So that to me is already an issue just within itself.
Doesn't it sound a little bit like they're just trying to get news out of this? Alabama's number one. Yeah.
That's what people are doing out there with all the lists and the whole biggest, best eateries in every college, whatever. And it's just like, stop it.
Now Tennessee is 9 on the Sports Illustrated list. So
where
got them at 9. Scroll down. Right below Miami.
There it is.
19. That's okay.
My bad. I'm sorry.
19 verbal commitments. They're anywhere from 10, 11, or 12 on the other recruiting services. So that's a little higher. Premium position targets, which I have no idea what that means. I guess that's their new thing for 4 or 5-star guys. Come up with something new. Maybe we'll do the OTH Recruit of the Week. But nevertheless, they do have them at 9. Alabama is at number 1. So it'll be interesting to see how things continue to shake out. I just keep an eye on Texas. I think there are more Arch Manning guys to fall. I think we saw a flurry of them immediately. I think there are going to be more out there. It's the name. It's the everything. I mean, you look at what the Mannings did. Came to Tennessee, set them up for a championship, a national championship, won an SEC title. But it was Peyton Manning who helped prepare them for that 98 championship with the summer workouts, and somebody should write a book on that.
David Sutcliffe, too.
Right. David did a great job with Team Martin in 98 and was criticized for actually not coaching the national championship game. Why? To coach at Ole Miss. Ole Miss under Eli Manning is better than they've been in years. Tennessee's better than they've been in years. Texas will be better than they have been in years. How good? I don't know. But
not going to the SEC, they won't.
Well, I mean, they'll be better. They've been pretty bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
So, and I know we were going to play message board bingo, but we're out of time. Can we do that tomorrow? Because she's Amanda LaFratta.
Tradition.
Okay, message board bingo. Give me one. I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Message board bingo. Who said this?
Saban has no integrity and has no problem doing what it takes to produce a winner. He over-recruits and processes anyone out who doesn't contribute at a high level.
Georgia.
Ohio State.
Oh, man, Ohio State fans gripe a lot.
They cry a lot.
I worked in digital marketing, and several of them were Ohio State fans because the company was based out of Ohio. And they were also Browns and Bengals fans. And I just felt like saying, just move. If you're going to like football, just move the H out of Ohio because it's not going to get much better for you.
I have one more.
Okay, go.
This is after somebody flipped their commitment.
Okay.
Break a leg, kid.
Oh! Break a leg, kid?
Always love this. Is what's best for my family. In parentheses, payday. Same guy.
So he's telling the kid to break a leg. That is just brutal. All right, what idiot fan base said that?
You have to guess.
So he transferred. I'm going to say...
He didn't transfer. He flipped a commitment.
Oh, he flipped a commitment.
Flipped, yeah.
Oh, wow. I feel like I should know this then. Who's flipped recently? Didn't Alabama flip a kid recently?
Yes.
Okay. It's whichever team that kid was committed to. So you'll have to update me. You'll have to provide the backup.
Ohio State.
Ohio State did it again?
Again.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Have a fantastic day, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bill Bender. We'll talk some college football. And we might try to have Sterl on again, but we'll test it first. That's the first time we had that issue. Have a fantastic day. For Amanda LaFratta, I'm Dave Hooker. This is a presentation of Off the Hook Sports. Do I sound flustered because we couldn't get Sterling on? Fair enough. Maybe I need some more reps.